Located within the greater Houston area, Pasadena resides along the highly industrial Houston Ship Channel. A seemingly endless sea of manufacturing facilities and refineries rest along the channel, with many of which relying on rail transportation to assist in hauling product in and out. And that brings us to the subject of today's video, the Port Terminal Railroad Association. In conjunction with Class 1 giants, the PTRA is tasked with serving countless customers along both sides of the channel. One of their yards is stationed here in Pasadena. We see a yard job classifying cuts of hoppers while borrowing an Evolution Series locomotive from the BNSF. To avoid fouling the Union Pacific main line, the job is utilizing a lead that rolls into the Chevron facility. Activity can be found on this terminal road 7 days a week. This yard shuffling was filmed on a Sunday, but let's take a look at some of the Saturday operations in the area. In Deer Park, we are along Channel City Road, where the old power of the PTRA rests in deadlines. These are genset locomotives, and at one point, they were the primary workhorses for the terminal. Retired in favor of Jeep locomotives, these gensets sit quietly and await their eventual fate, whatever it may be. The gensets are stored behind a warehouse for the Dow Chemical Company. This is a very active customer for the railroad, and sure enough, we'd find a PTRA job flipping the switch to enter the facility. The Soul motor is number 2014, painted in PTRA's sharp gray paint scheme that was introduced last year. We see 2014 easing into the small yard adjacent to the Dow warehouse. Here it will be dropping the entirety of its train, and will be picking up an outbound cut of hoppers to haul to the nearby Pasadena yard. Formed 101 years ago, in 1924, PTRA currently has a massive customer base with 226 businesses utilizing their services. According to their website, they operate out of 7 yards and maintain 154 miles of track, along with 20 bridges. Once the job drops off its cut, we will see the number 2014 running around so the conductor can line some switches to allow the pickup of outbound cars. With the connection made, our train will now work its way back towards the Pasadena yard. This particular stretch of track is part of the Union Pacific Strang subdivision. This is one of the smaller subdivisions in the country, with a total length of just over 21 miles. The route originates out of the massive Inglewood Yard and works down to LaPorte. Despite its short length, the Strang sub sees a fair amount of rail traffic on a daily basis from PTRA, BNSF haulage rights, and of course Union Pacific. Here we see a manifest making its way towards LaPorte with some EMD power on the lead. This is another PTRA job that has just finished its work and is making its way back towards the yard. Leading Long Hood forward, this Jeep is painted in another scheme introduced in 2024. PTRA number 2024 is coated in a scheme that pays tribute to the 100th anniversary of the railroad, the paint being inspired by that all too familiar Lone Star flag. Leapfrogging ahead, we find ourselves back at the mouth of the yard in Pasadena as number 2024 rolls by. This PTRA job must make an interesting maneuver. With permission from Union Pacific Dispatch, the train must cross onto the opposite main line and then make a shove move back into the yard. With the conductor spotting on the rear of the train, the job will shove back into the yard to clear off the main line.
Problem I did not consider.
I really hope that you've enjoyed this quick video on the PTRA. Being completely honest with you, there's so much that I have to learn about these operations, and I do apologize for not having that much specific operation knowledge to share with you. Next time we find ourselves in the area, though, we'll be sure to explore more operations of the PTRA. Until then, though, I will be seeing you somewhere out there along the rails, and as always, thanks for watching.